Hi class, I'm here doing an interview with Eric and Lauren Ogle on marriage.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so how long have you two been married?
14 months.
14 months.
Yep.
January 7th, 2012.
Alright. What would you say has been the hardest transition from single life to married life?
Yeah, I would say it's just been hard. Just not thinking about yourself. So whether that's big decisions in life, like it's not just you deciding that anymore. Like you have to consider another person, or just even small things like what are you gonna have for dinner, or what do you want to do tonight. It's not just up to you anymore, but considering another person in the equation all the time.
Okay, so what would you say have you found that has made your marriage work well?
I think one thing that really works for our marriage, that we found that marriage is not the be-all end-all. We don't expect our marriage or expect each other to make ourselves happy. We don't expect to find ultimate satisfaction in our spouse or in our marriage. We see marriage as having really serving a greater purpose. That's to glorify God. We're both Christians, and so we look for our marriage to do something greater, a higher purpose other than ourselves, and we look for satisfaction and fulfillment in something, in someone greater than us, and that's Jesus Christ. So I'm not always relying on Lauren to make me happy. I'm looking to Jesus for my satisfaction, and her the same way.
Great. Okay, so you two have been married for a little over a year. Might be thinking kids in the future, near future. So what changes do you think will come about when you do have children?
A lot of changes. It's hard, I guess, because we don't have kids, know exactly. I can't speak from experience in that. But I think just even kind of what I was saying on the first question, like what's been a hard transition into marriage, I feel like with kids, like even more so, like being selfless and like someone is completely dependent on you for everything. And so I think, just even more of not thinking of yourself.
Yeah, and we're going to be living in another country soon. We're on staff with Crew. We're moving, being full-time missionaries in Asia soon, and so even thinking about that, that's a huge transition. We've agreed to live there for at least a year before having kids first, just to get over that transition before entering into another very challenging transition, the transition of having kids. So that's one thing we've thought about as far as preparing our future for like when to have kids and where we want to be before we have kids.
I think like just with like our relationship, I would think that it would take even more intentionality in our relationship.
To connect like relationally and personally,
like once you have kids.
Because there's a distraction. I mean, not a distraction, but it's like it's another person. So I feel like for us to connect, intentionally finding time for each other.
That's great. Ending on, do you have any advice on what does make a marriage work well? I know you kind of mentioned that earlier, but just like ending on that, some advice.
I'd say the first thing I said before, just not idolizing marriage. But I think another thing, we kind of have a thing now when we tell each other we love each other. Sorry, this is too cutesy, but sometimes we'll say, well, why? How come? Why do you love me so much? And we never have an answer for that. And it's because we believe very strongly that there's no why to why we love each other. If there was, if I love Lauren because she's beautiful, or because she's a great wife, or because her personality, or whatever it was, then that's a possibility that she could lose that somehow, and if that changed, maybe my love for her would lessen, or you know, or go away somehow. And so basically what I'm getting at is unconditional love, and it's just saying I'm going to love her and I'm going to choose to love her. It's a conscious choice of my will, no matter what. And I don't think anybody could give that love to another person if they haven't experienced first. And that's exactly the love that Jesus gives us, that Lauren and I have experienced from God. His love is totally unconditional. There's no reason why he loves us. It's no merit of mine that I've earned from God. I've never earned his love, but he loves me anyway. And so we want to model that for each other and like be that love for each other. So I think that's probably the number one key. If I had to come up with one piece of advice about marriage, that would be it.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah.
No problem.